Now, over the years, I've been experimenting with a variety of different kinds of planners to keep my life organized. So for me, I found myself using weekly calendars. It works well for me. And when I use a weekly calendar, I almost always go to the store and buy a paper version of it. I like to carry it around with me so I have it with me. And if I'm in a meeting or I'm in an appointment or I'm talking to someone on the phone where I might have an appointment coming, I tend to have my planner open next to me whenever I'm working. Now, I do realize that we use iPads and technology a lot. I'm wondering if we couldn't merge those two things together. So what I did was a quick little search here for, weekly planner templates. And gosh, there's all kinds of them. These are all things that you could just click and kind of check out. And if you find that you like them, you could probably either pay for them or a lot of them are free. And you could use them inside of a app like Notability, for example. So I'm going to show you that same model right here. I'm going to show you one that I found. It's super flexible. It was free. So thanks to Calendarpedia for making this free resource. So if you're a student and you're trying to use something like this, you might want to break this up into math class. So here's an example of what my schedule looks like and what my fixed items are. I have two busy kids and I'm busy myself. My wife is busy. And as I think about my week, I try to put in things that we need to make sure we plan around. It could be hair appointments, it could be sports practices, it could be remediation after school, it could be extra jobs, it could be any variety of things that go into my planner. Those things are really the non-negotiables. But during the school day, all of this stuff here, that stuff flexes day to day. Now, when I'm planning, I try to keep things very simple. I make a dot next to every item. So if I have some sort of task, if I have some sort of an assignment, if I have some sort of an appointment, if I have some sort of a thing that I want to do, or some task I need to complete. And as soon as I complete that task, I cross it off, and in my mind, that item is now gone. And I try and make sure that every day, as I'm planning out my day, and I try to make sure that everything that I need for that day has an X through it. So with that said, let's talk about the chunking piece. Chunking is a way to take an assignment and break it down into its bits and pieces. For example, I'll pick a typical math assignment in our school. In math class, we use Get More Math. So oftentimes we'll do Get More Math, and we'll give the students a total number of points they need to earn by the end of the week, by midnight. Okay. Now this is nice and precise. I write it under the Friday, so I know it's due by midnight. Forgive me if my writing's a little sloppy, but I think you get the idea. Now, if I wait until Friday to try to do these 100 points, it's probably not going to work out well for me. So when I see that 100, what I try and do right away, and I'm looking at my math row, is I try to chunk that assignment out. Well, let's see, I've got Monday. I usually like to keep my weekends free if I'm able to. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and then I can use Friday if I'd like, but I really rather not save it for the end. So I'm going to take that 100 and divide it by 4, and I'm going to go ahead and take 25 points per day. And because it's an iPad, I can go ahead and copy and paste. And now I have my 25 points chunked out throughout the week. What I like doing about this is, here comes my dot, right? I'm going to go ahead and put my dot here, put my dot here, put my dot, and put my dot. Now, maybe with a really compacted agenda planner like this one, maybe you want to go with a different color. If you complete it, you mark it off with something else so it stands out. It's kind of up to you, of course. But that's the idea behind this flexibility of an agenda planner, that you can do it how you like. Same task goes for, let's say, science class. Let's say your science teacher has a quiz next week on Tuesday. Now, it wouldn't go here on your planner because this is this week. However, here's what I do know. Weekends are busy. Here's a lacrosse tournament that's going to take my entire day with my family. I'm not going to have any energy to do any work, nor am I going to have the ability to do work while I'm at a tournament. So if I were that student, I would have to kind of plan around that thing. And I would have to think about, well, when am I going to complete the study guide? When am I going to prepare for the quiz? What am I going to do? Because I don't want to save it for the last minute. So I might find myself thinking, I'm going to devote the week to completing things that are due on Friday, but then I'm going to try and devote a little bit of this weekend time. So in the science row, I'm going to go ahead and put quiz study guide. And what I like about that with the dot next to it is that it's reminding me multiple days in advance so that I can get my head around any last minute changes that come up, because something always comes up and ruins your plans if you save it for the last minute. While I'm not going to go through each of the topics, language arts, foreign language, science, social studies, what I want you to be able to do is identify what the assignments are, plan out when you're going to actually complete the assignments, and then really keep up with it using whatever technique you can use, whether it's crossing off the dots, whether it's some other technique. Maybe you highlight things as you complete them. and then other things that aren't highlighted haven't been completed yet. Sure, that'll work. Things to look at towards the bottom. There are days when in your lives, you're going to have very little time to work with. Imagine you had a hair appointment at 4 o'clock and your lacrosse practice or whatever practice starts at 5. There's very little opportunity in between there to get anything done. That means that you're going to have to spend your time working in the evening, and whatever you're going to get done is going to have to happen after 6 o'clock. You've not eaten dinner yet. You've not said hi to your family. You've not done any of the things that maybe you like to do. So that day looks pretty tough. My Wednesdays are pretty difficult. I've got remediation until 4 and my kids' practice starts at 6 and it's a half an hour away. I have very little time to work there, but what I do is I find myself using this time when I'm at the gym. I'm going ahead and I'm making myself my list of notes with the dots on all the things I need to do. And I find myself crossing off those tasks. You can find yourself pretty much any style of agenda online. You could import it into Notability, or if you want something a little more tangible, buy yourself a planner. Try out a paper copy. There's daily, there's weekly, and there's monthly. You'll find one that works well for you. Write down everything that you need to complete, and then work really hard on building a plan so that those tasks are completed.